fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, something that was brought to my attention was whenever I went over the last part to see where I left off. I did not go over the heroes versus villains exam. Now, with that being said, let us cut back in time real quick to do this. Now, we will start, I believe, 1 week after the first day at UA. And we do have today. Everybody is currently getting changed into their hero outfits. And Midoriya and Katie, they have been trying to find a good mix of what their outfits could be. Midoriya has always admired All Might in this timeline. However, he did also begin to start admiring other types of heroes, along with actually understanding Katie's whole thing about the samurai hero. So first, let us go over Katie's hero outfit. Now, if you guys do know Kami's One Piece style hero outfit suit, Katie would have something sort of like that. However, she also does have certain types of body armor and a modified kimono to go over it. Now, the dress she would be wearing would be long. Then there you do have the armored plate that is on top of it, along with actually armor covering her arm and wrapping around her bicep. Then you do actually have certain what looks to be heavier plates of armor on her forearms, and what you could call gloves on her hands. Now, this armor looks lightweight. However, the thicker plates of armor on her hands and her arms are actually there for a certain reason. To absorb some of the force from whenever Katie does throw a punch. Now, Katie would also wear combat boots in order to maximize her running ability. Because let's be honest, fighting in heels would sound weird and probably would not be very effective. I don't understand how certain anime characters can do that. Anyways, now, with that being said, we do have Midoriya, who himself is, well, still trying to think of his costume. The one that he did have an idea for, the hero department really didn't make it too well. And his homemade costume was never made in canon. Or was not made in this canon. Now, Midoriya does at least have half of the costume, since he tried to remodify it to work with Black Whip. And they're currently in the process of making that outfit. Now, with that, we do have Midoriya, who does wear combat boots as well. And at least some pants that are, well, made for One for All. Specifically designed to at least be blast resistant, shock resistant, and as well as flexible. Somewhat of a stretchy material as well. Now, Midoriya also does at least wear a black shirt, and he was going to go for a bit of a, well, I would say cape, but that would be weird. Let's say he goes for a long sleeve shirt underneath. Now, Midoriya is wearing all black, and these two would both walk out. Everybody's hero outfits are quite strange. Somebody trying to point out that Midoriya's and Bakugo's do look quite similar. Bakugo shouting that they shouldn't be compared to each other. While somebody actually does try and comment on Katie's hero outfit. What about it? Nothing. It's strange. How so? Well, it reminds me of, I don't know. Does it remind me of a movie I've seen or a pro hero? Well, probably a pro hero. I designed mine after my favorite. Really? Katie going full fangirl in 2 seconds, boasting about the samurai hero, who is in the top 10. Now, with that being said, somebody does actually try and comment on Katie's armor, or her outfit. However, she just makes a snide remark that her outfit does seem a lot better than wearing a full suit of armor. Her throwing her hand up and a thumb towards Ida, saying that the guy wants to be fast, but that stuff's gotta be heavy. So it's slowing him down, isn't it? Ida talking about how this is the hero outfit, or designed hero outfit, for his family, and that he is going to be keeping up their family values. Got it. You just want to run fast. And wear shiny armor. I don't expect you to understand it. No, I don't. Because I think you'd be a lot faster without it all on. She does make a good point. Besides, the armor is very sweaty right now. Ida does say, thinking that he might have to apply some extra deodorant after this is all over. Now, with that being said, All Might would announce the teams for combat, as we have Midoriya and Kendo as the villains, and then we have Katie and Bakugo as the heroes. Now, people are quite, shocked. Bakugo getting fired up, along with Midoriya and Katie. Midoriya looking at Katie and just simply bringing his hand up, and his fist. Katie doing the same thing as she smacks his fist with her own, talking about how she's going to win this exam. Doubt it. Now, everybody would get in their places. Midoriya and Kendo at the bomb, and Bakugo and Katie outside the building. As Bakugo really hates that this is happening. Damn it. So now we have to fight shitty Deku? Midoriya. Call him Midoriya. I don't have to listen to you. Well, I don't know why you're being such an asshole about this all. I'm being an asshole? Clearly you are, Bakugo. This being where Bakugo and Katie already begin to start arguing. And All Might can tell this is falling apart quickly. Now, with that being said, we do have inside the building with Kendo and Deku. Kendo asking Midoriya exactly what should they be doing. Well, let's see. Knowing both of those two, Katie can sometimes be very hot-headed. Then again, she's quick on her feet and can think fast. I've always beaten her whenever we fight, when we were training, and then there's Bakugo. Even without my quirk, I still can kick his ass. Huh? Oh wait, you can beat that hot-headed dude? Well, yeah. I didn't get my quirk until last year. Wait, what? And you have two, right? Yeah. It's weird, I know. But even then, Midoriya says, bring up his hand as Black Whip does come out. As Kendo does just watch it float up into the air and move somewhat freely. Midoriya talking about how he's still trying to understand this quirk. So far, he can't really do too much with it. However, he can at least, him cocking his hand out forwards and moving it fast, as he slashes into a pillar, and almost cuts it in two. This catching Kendo off guard, as the sound it made. Whoa, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, I think I know what to call it now. It makes that sound every time I move it. So, what is that thing? I guess I can call it Black Whip. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Alright. My enhancement ability in Black Whip. Plus your quirk. What is it? Kendo explaining her quirk. She can enlarge her hands. And, with the enlargement, they also do gain mass. Huh. That's kinda similar to Katie's. Huh? Well, what is her quirk? Every time she punches something over and over again, the force behind her fist gets harder. And stronger. Yeah. I'd say if you two were to fight, it, well, wouldn't end well. So, let me see. Now, with that, Midoriya does actually begin to hear explosions downstairs, along with the building somewhat beginning to move a little bit. Now, Bakugo and Katie are already trying to make their own ways to the bomb. Midoriya actually running over to the elevator for a second, and looking at it, as he does turn on his quirk, as he would actually open the doors, forcing them open and breaking them, as he does see the wire coming up. Midoriya just reaching out and actually slicing the wire with his quirk. Now, the moment that he would do that, the emergency brakes in the elevator do immediately activate as soon as it actually did begin to start going down. And he can hear someone actually yell and scream. Well, there's Katie. Him hearing that building or that floor shake. That's definitely Katie. Alright, I'm gonna go try and take care of them. Stay here with the bomb in case anything does happen. What are you talking about? Well, think about it. If one of them gets past me, you should at least be able to handle them. And I can try and double back as fast as I can. But I'm going to run into one of them as soon as they do go down. And if they do try and go against me, well, hopefully I'll be able to get both of them. Well, what about your quirk? You can just end this immediately, can't you? Yeah, about that. The strain on my body sometimes does begin to get too much. So I'm going to go to my lower levels. Lower levels? Yeah. I don't know. At 100% I can break my limbs. But at 30% I'm able to move around fast and utilize most of my speed. Don't explain, just go. Now, we do have roughly about 2 to 3 minutes earlier, with Katie and Bakugo walking into the first level of the building. This being where Katie's talking about how they need to make a plan. Bakugo talking about how they have a plan. What is our plan then? We go straight for the bomb and Midoriya. I'm going to crush him using my quirk. He always talks about how I've never beaten him. But I was holding back. Really now? Is that really all you have to say about that? Our teachers would have either expelled me or suspended me all the time. So I had to. However, here, we're not playing by schoolyard rules, McKenna. Alright, Katsuki. Don't say my first name. How about this? I'll let you in on something. that not even Midoriya knows about my own quirk. Really now? This is interesting. Not even Midoriya knows, are you sure? Definitely. Listen. I started to notice odd things after me and Midoriya started training. And I kept it a secret from him. I've been trying to practice it on my own. But the thing is, it's a bit more tricky. And it kind of reminds me of my own brother's quirk. Huh? Your brother's quirk? Yeah. Listen. Just trust me on this, alright? Her bring her hand up. And showing Bakugo what she's talking about. As soon as she cocks her hand backwards, she throws it up forwards, doing it once again and again. Before she does actually focus when she brings her hand backwards this time. Before throwing her hand outwards and opening up into a palm. Bakugo watching as a shockwave comes directly out of her hand and begin to shake the building a little bit. Interesting. So, that's odd. Yeah, but I did notice something. The more me and Midoriya fought every single day, the stronger these become. So, I'm collecting energy. Really? Yeah. I'm redis. I think I'm redis. That. I think I'm moving the force whenever I move into these attacks. The more force I exert every day, and the more I encounter stronger forces, the stronger these things will become. I'm able to redistribute it. There we go. Okay, McKenna, I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna take the elevator, you can take the stairs. And we can both catch Midoriya off guard. He'll have to pick one of us. Okay. I like this. So you're saying we can at least kick his ass? Oh yeah, we can. Besides, I'm his rival. I've got a lot of catching up to do. Sure you are. Bakugo talking away before saying more like his girlfriend. Now, with that being said, Katie did not hear that. Walking to the elevator as she gets in. And we do have the current, area Midoriya is at. Him walking past a hallway as he heard something nearby. And did actually walk into the area. Walking down the hallway to see that there is an empty can here. When did that get there? No wait, this has to be recent. Now, Midoriya is alerted whenever his danger sense goes off. And he does actually turn to his right, thinking that the attack is coming from behind him. However, this is whenever a hand does immediately come through the wall and try to throw an explosion at Midoriya, to which he quickly jumped backwards and turned around. Now, as soon as it did actually happen, we do have Katie who does jump in at the hallway, as she goes to rush towards Midoriya, being alarmed that he's already right in front of her. And we do actually have everyone in the observation deck, quite surprised that Midoriya knew they were there. How did he do that? I don't know. He didn't even hear them. He was able to counter their counterattack? That's insane. Now, Jiro finds that to be quite odd. This guy should be totally normal, right? But her doing all of that and trying to pick up on sounds? It is strange. So, how did this normal guy do that? Now, Katie, she actually does get a hit in at Midoriya. Midoriya powering up to 20%, as Bakugo himself does try and rush in. Now, Bakugo rushes in at Midoriya. Midoriya actually being able to turn half of his body as he's blocking one of Katie's arms. her smashing fist directly into Midoriya's right arm. Midoriya taking 4 hits and feeling the force get stronger. Bakugo trying to blast his right hand directly into Midoriya. Midoriya using his other hand to grab Bakugo by his forearm and throw his hand downwards towards Katie. Him blasting her directly in her body armor, as she actually does almost go flying backwards, absorbing the energy of the attack. Now, as she actually does hit the wall and land, she does get back up, trying to rush back in. As she actually does watch Bakugo and Midoriya fight against each other. For a second, you can tell that these two have history. Bakugo blasting explosions as Midoriya is just quite simply just getting in at close range, and throwing haymaker after haymaker at Bakugo. As these two just keep going. Bakugo blasting explosions directly into Midoriya's shirt and into his torso and body, along with him actually trying to hit him in the face point blank with an explosion. All Might almost calling him out for that, but understanding that Midoriya has it all under control. Now, this is whenever we do have the next part, where Bakugo is actually able to gain a bit of leeway with Midoriya. After Midoriya kicked him through a wall, he got back up, talking about how he doesn't even know their strategy. What are you talking about? Bakugo, you can't even work well with your own mom. How the hell do you expect to work well with Katie? She hates you, man. Funny thing about that, she told me a secret not even you knew. I doubt that, Bakugo. Now, this is whenever Katie actually just come rushing in, getting up close and personal with Midoriya, as she redistributed the force from earlier. And this caught Midoriya off guard, being alarmed as he did actually go and turn to see her flying towards him. What the hell? She can fly? Him trying to at least bring his body over to attack Katie. Katie throwing up her hands out in front of her. As soon as Midoriya did actually go to throw his fist outwards, Katie caught it with her left hand and threw her right hand outwards, as she's able to sock Midoriya across the face. And the force, if you were to watch this in slow motion, it looked like she was able to time it perfectly, punching Midoriya and hitting him with his own power, along with a few additional pieces of it. Now, that was equal to roughly a 40% smash, and Midoriya got sent flying backwards due to the force, getting thrown through many different walls. Now, with that, Midoriya was able to try and shake this off. However, he was surprised to learn this about Katie's quirk. What the fuck? She did get better. Okay then. Midoriya is saying that he's not going to take it easy on them anymore, as he does go to try and power up. Now, this is when Bakugo actually talk about how he doubts that, saying that he'll take it from here, McKenna. Really now? And why are you going to do that? Trust me. I still gotta give this bastard a little bit of a lesson. Besides, isn't there a bomb you're supposed to capture? Oh shit, you're right. Well, I guess I leave the rest to you, Bakugo. Hell. Now, Bakugo does rush in, as he throws up his left gauntlet and rips the grenade pin out of it immediately, blasting all the force at Midoriya, who just brought his hands up to try and guard against it. Now, as soon as Midoriya did actually do that, the blast is cleared, and All Might is screaming at Bakugo not to do that again, since he could have killed Midoriya. Bakugo telling All Might to look a bit more closely, as there does stand Midoriya, as he does look a bit more pissed off. His arms and top of his torso are somewhat scorched from the battle and the attack. As Midoriya, his shirt got burned off, telling Bakugo that that's that. He's not letting him do that again. Just try it, Deku. As soon as he did actually say that, Midoriya blitzed him, and Bakugo realized that immediately. Deku disappeared, and that would only mean that he's... Bakugo bringing his hands up and blasting backwards. As Midoriya, he threw a smash upwards at 50%, and it actually did blast through the floor of the next level, and the next 2 levels above that. Now, Bakugo, he is now running from Midoriya. Midoriya's insane speed. He can't even see the damn bastard. He can only see where he just lands. He's breaking the walls as he's jumping off of them. Shit, where is he? Where is he? Bakugo bringing up his other grenade. As Midoriya, he actually has catch up to Bakugo, grabbing his right fist and slamming his own right hand directly into Bakugo's gauntlet. Before Bakugo realizes that that's Midoriya. Now, we do have on the next level, where we do have Katie and Kendo. These two finally meeting face to face on the battlefield. Now, Katie tells Kendo that this is going to be pretty easy. Don't underestimate me. Alright, well, I shouldn't, but I think you've told me enough about your own quirk. Huh? Oh, please. We were both in the same area for the entrance exam. I know a bit about it. Well, all your quirk really does is allow you to hit things really, really hard, doesn't it? Yep, she says, running in and saying that Ian hit them even harder. Now, as she does rush in, she does go to attack Kendo, who does just simply try and sideswipe her with her right hand. Now, Katie is able to actually bring up her left hand and slam some force into it, and throw out her right fist and punch into it as well, that being a second combo. As the force she exerted with her left hand was enough to somewhat stop this, well, massive thing. The second hit sent it flying backwards, unbalancing Kendo as she almost turns completely around and smacks McKenna with it again. However, she unenlarges it, allowing Katie to actually get in and tackle her, trying to hold her down as she does try to pin Kendo down by her back. Now, Kendo just uses her other hand and tries to bring it upwards and flip it over, enlarging it as she tries to grab McKenna. This being where Katie just jumps backwards and off of her, before running in and actually being able to grab her by her wrist whenever she got up on her feet. Her then actually slamming her against a pillar as she does actually try and hold her there by her throat, pressing her forearm into it, telling Kendo to just give up. Highly unlikely. Please. I've clearly trained harder than you have. No, you haven't. Oh, really? What do you mean? Well, if you did, you'd think about this. This being where Kendo does enlarge her right hand, and it does actually just fall forwards. Katie letting go of both of her hands as she does try and move backwards, before Kendo just throws down her left hand and enlarges it, hitting Katie in her stomach. Her being sent smashing through the pillar that Midoriya cut into, and breaking it. Now, Kendo tells Katie that she would have thought of that if she paid attention to her quirk. Now, give up. Nope. She says, getting back on her feet, talking about how that was just what she needed. Huh? How are you able to stand after that? I just threw you through a pillar. Don't try and question it, please. I've trained with Midoriya. You gotta know better than that. Besides, I'm not gonna lose to you. What are you talking about? Oh, trust me. You're strong. You're smart. You can figure it out. Besides, if you're a good indicator, then I might have another rival on my hands. Rival? Really? Well, I'm honored that you think that way. So, she says bringing her hands up, saying, how about they just have a good old-fashioned fist fight? No quirks. Now you're thinking more like I was. This being where the two do proceed to have a fist fight. Now, with that being said, we do have Midoriya, who, after thoroughly enjoying dismantling Bakugo and beating the shit out of him, he does actually leave this floor, as there's not many walls left. And Midoriya, he actually is making his way back to the top, as he does run into the room and see the current fight. Katie and Kendo are just throwing fists and elbows back and forth at each other. Kendo is trying to use her, technique, while Kendo, or Katie, is more or less using her street brawler style. Now, with that, Kendo does at the edge and gets some good hits in on Katie. However, Katie, she does have more power behind her attacks, since she is physically stronger. Midoriya staying out of this fight, because his team is going to win either way. Now, with that, the time limit does eventually reach the end, and Katie has yet to capture the bomb. Now, with that, she actually does fall over a bit tired and exhausted, talking about how Kendo really is strong. Well, thank you, she says. She herself actually sitting down on the floor for a second, leaning up against a pillar, talking about how she hasn't fought someone like that in forever, or ever, in fact. Please. You're at UA now. You're gonna encounter a lot of strong people. You're right. I don't know why I was thinking otherwise. Well, you just gotta know, she says, going to stretch. As soon as she actually does, she winces in pain and brings her hand down onto her side, talking about how that hurts a lot. Now, Doria does actually ask Katie if she's alright. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Midoriya actually holding out a hand to her. Her pulling herself up onto her feet with Midoriya's help, saying that she just needs to go see Recovery Girl. Are you sure? 'Cause you're leaning on me a whole lot. Yeah, Midoriya, I'll be okay. No, I don't think you are going to be, trust me. I mean, look at your legs. Katie's legs shaking. Midoriya is saying here, as he does actually pick her up. Her getting red in the face, as she actually does tell Midoriya just to put her down. No, I'm not going to do that. Besides, what was that movie you used against me? You got me pretty good back there. Oh, that. Well, I've been trying to keep that a secret from you. Why? Well, it's just that that's really hard to do. Plus, that hurts so much. Oh, I think I understand it. Don't worry. I can help you with that if you need me to. Kendo, just. Okay, wow, that just happened. And Midoriya does not think anything more of this interaction. Katie blushing heavily as Kendo does go to check on Bakugo. Now, she actually does help him out of a pile of rubble. And Bakugo does seem to be a bit more pissed off, as he does get back to the command center. It being told that the heroes have lost, and the other matches will go through. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.